A lot has changed in Apple Music and in Spotify, and this is a fresh take on the comparison between the two music streaming giants. Let's commence with the library and audio quality. Alright, so the library size on the Apple Music is touted to be over 100 million songs. Not too long ago, it was 90 million songs, so I suppose they've added another 10 million recently. Spotify, on the other hand, touts 80 million songs. Again, I've seen it at 85 million, so maybe they've lost some contracts, who knows. But it's not just about the numbers. Actually, I find that both libraries hold the classics and the hottest new tracks, which is what is important to most people. However, Apple Music scores points in this particular category because of the curated playlists and exclusive artist content. So Apple has managed to sign some artists that are found nowhere else. Spotify, on the other hand, shines with its robust podcast integration and discoverability features. So podcasts are in-app for Spotify, whereas Apple has a separate app for podcasting. So depending on who you are, that may be a plus or minus. The audio quality, Apple wipes the floor with absolutely everybody in this department, in my opinion. Why? Because they have that super high quality, lossless audio and the newly implemented spatial audio options. Man, it's like listening to some of your tracks for the first time when you use this technology. Spotify, on the other hand, also offers pretty good quality, but you have to pay a little bit extra for the very high setting, unfortunately. The most important part for most people, though, is the price plans that they have. Both platforms offer individual plans for roughly the same amount, just call it $10 a month. And Spotify slightly edges out on Apple on this one because it offers a cheaper family plan. But there's also a student discount on Apple Music, so if you're students, you can get it for $5 a month, while Spotify keeps it at their standard price even for students. But there's a free version of Spotify supported by ads. Ultimately, the cost depends on your personal budget, so that's up to you. What about the extra features? Well, Spotify has collaborative playlists, and they're the best in the industry, right? Because Spotify has social features like following and sharing, and these features are top notch because since way back, actually, Spotify has positioned itself as a social media of music. Plus, the integrated podcast library is convenient for one-step audio entertainment. Apple, on the other hand, has tight integration with the Apple ecosystem, and this is a big plus if you have an iPhone, an iPad, or Mac. Shazam, which is one of the oldest apps on the iPhone, which I use very, very frequently, is built in. Siri can also control your music, and AirPods seamlessly switch between devices. This is really, really convenient if you're in the Apple ecosystem. Of course, some of these tools also work with Spotify, but not as seamlessly. Also, the curated playlist by Apple Music editors, that's like a treasure trove of discovery. Before we reach a verdict, I just want to talk about some personal things to me. So these are subjective to my own tastes, and your taste might be different. Spotify, I find to have more organic discoverability, whereas Apple's discoverability is edited and curated by experts, and it's evident. The playlists that Spotify generates are more chaotic, more random, and some people like myself actually like that, would prefer that to the professionally curated playlists, which sometimes feel very mechanical and inorganic, if you know what I mean. Even the artworks display a little bit better in Spotify. I think they just have a nicer color scheme and the colors work better, and it's just better implemented on Spotify. On Apple Music, everything looks clean, clinical, and sometimes it's just not very, very organic. Again, this is a very, very personal thing, and this is one thing in which I prefer Spotify over Apple. So who wins? Honestly, I would say it's a tie. Spotify is the social butterfly with podcasts and collaborative playlists, while Apple Music wins on audio quality and exclusive content. Ultimately, the best choice depends on you. If you've liked this comparison, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. I do read comments and I do reply to them. Peace.